27 straight missed threes. How the hell did that happen?
That's
Rockets?
amazing. And you know what? Most of them were quality looks. Now, I know they've started pressing, probably down the stretch a little bit, but, I mean, stone cold wide open looks. And, people say, well, if you're missing that many shots, why do you keep doing it? Well, that's who you are. That's who they've been all season. And to think that could happen, I saw some 1 in 72,000 that could potentially happen or something. It's just it's crazy. I mean, to think that would happen, no one could ever think that. And I don't blame Houston. That's the way they play. And unfortunately for them, they didn't make them.
I guess the old axiom: live by the three and die by the three. And they fell on that sword, man. I just still can't believe it. 27 in a row. Ariza going 0 for a dozen, breaking the all-time record for most attempts without a make. And they had him. What do you think the Rockets should do? They've got a Chris Paul contract sitting right there. It is entirely possible that they could entice a free agent to come, a free agent of note potentially, the one that we've already had a conversation about during this hit here. John, what do you think the Rockets should do after a 65-win season ending the way it did?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, Chris Paul's 33, wants 5 years. You're paying him $200 million. That's tough to swallow when you're sitting there 4 or 5 years down the road and he's making $40 million. I don't think there's a major tweak that needs to happen. I don't think it has to be a LeBron James or a Paul George that has to go there. I think it's got to be a guy that can stand there and shoot shots and play defense. I don't think that you need another guy that wants to hold the basketball. You already have 2 guys that do that. So it's not much. I think it's a player that doesn't have to be an all-star type player that could maybe get Houston over the top.
Do you have a burner Twitter account, John? I know you don't have a regular one.
No tweeting for me,
Come on.
bud.
You're not even on just to see what's happening. You don't even have one of those accounts to look at.
No,
okay.
I'm old. My kids tell me I'm a loser, and I'm fine with that.
Okay. So what do you think is going on in that Sixers locker room right now with the news that happened with Colangelo?
I don't know the Twitter world. I mean, is this guy nailed or what? I mean, I read what I read.
He definitely copped to one of the 5, said 4 of the other 5 were not him, but was initially told of only 2, and the 3 other ones to come up with a 5 went from public to private, meaning you're not allowed to look at the tweets unless the person allows you to overnight. Mm-hmm. So somebody. Something got alerted. So some way with the Ringer alerting the Sixers to ask Colangelo about the first 2, shut down 3 other ones, unless that's completely coincidental. And then the one of the 2 that was not shut down that he said was told about and said it wasn't his was found to be tweeting during some of his press conferences. So there is an alibi, if you will, there.
Well, wasn't one of them his son, or he's throwing his son under the bus?
Well, he's not throwing anybody under the bus. He is saying he has no idea about the other ones, but there is now a rumor that it could be a family member who was tweeting some of this proprietary information out, unbeknownst to him or known to him. I don't know. He said he knew nothing about it, John.
Wow. Can't wait to see how this one turns out.
Okay. You're not a social media guy at all. Then, huh?
I'm not. I don't really do it now.
Okay, John.
Well, why would anybody care what I'm doing? I don't care. My kids don't care. So why would you care if I'm going to the grocery store?
Now, I'm not saying, hey, I'm going to pick up, some of my gluten-free food for my diet. I'm not saying that.
That's exciting.
But what I'm saying is, you would then say you would be giving opinions about Game 1 during Game 1. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. It's for.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. But I'd get myself in trouble if you got to count to 10 before you press send.
That's true. You have to hover. You have to hover that thumb, man, before you hit send. Yeah. There's no question.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.